Hey everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. My guest today is one of the funnest people in the plant-based space that you will ever meet. He is half of Well Your World. Maybe he's a third now since he has a baby. I'm not sure how that works. And he's going to be doing an amazing cooking demonstration of recipes that are not just vegan, but are SOS-free, and they're quick and easy to make. If you're not familiar with Dillon he is the chief flavor officer of Well Your World that produces some of the best, if not the best, SOS-free seasonings, sauces, salad dressings. I'm going to show you two of my favorite. And I'm a chef. I can make this, but it's so good. Why would you bother? I love the marinara sauce. It's so good. And so does Dr. Alan Goldhammer. Actually, we were talking about it. It's his favorite, but I also love the pizza sauce. And I have a recipe with this that I made up and I keep meaning to shoot it, but there's so many other flavors you can try. And he is the host and the star of a twice monthly cooking show that you can join. And I believe there might even be a free trial or something like that. He'll tell you about it, but here he is today to cook. Please welcome Dillon Holmes, the new father.
Hey everybody, thank you AJ. Happy to be here. Yes, I'm a new dad. He's what, 2 months old, 11 weeks almost. And it's been a trip, but he's doing really well. He does sleep, so that's been great. But now more than ever, I need fast, easy meals. If you don't know me, I'm Dillon. We have a YouTube channel called Well Your World. That's where I started. And when I started with healthy eating, actually, AJ didn't know it at the time, but was one of my mentors, and Alan Goldhammer, of course, at True North. And I created a whole lineup of products pretty much for them because I ate like them and nobody was making convenience things that we could do like really quickly in the kitchen. So I made a lineup of products first for me, and then I made a commercial version of them so that other people could save time in the kitchen like I do. And so that is my shtick. I'm not just here to whip up some recipes for you. That gets boring. I'm here to show you really like 50 recipes. We're going to do 4, but you could turn these into anything using our products. We're going to focus on our products today. We do a twice monthly cooking show like AJ was talking about. A little bit about that is on the screen. You can pause and come back to this, but we do it twice a month. Members get 10% off of all of our products, and you get access to all of our previous episodes. This one coming up is, I think, episode 98. Which is on Friday, and we are doing a free trial this month. So the link there, you saw it at the bottom of your screen, wellyourworld.com/free trial. We've had hundreds of people sign up this month during our free trial, so it's been really exciting. We did a 10-minute meals video last show, and we put that one on YouTube to promote the show, and that one's been really popular. This next one's going to be on camping recipes. We're not going to put that one on YouTube, so you've got to sign up if you want to see it. That's been requested a lot. But today, we're going to focus on different recipes with my products. On our cooking show, we don't use our products because not everybody can get hold of them. Here today, I'm going to show you even a faster way to make things. We're going to do 4 using our products. We do make a whole lineup of bottled sauces like AJ was talking. There's a couple pasta sauces, 5 different salad dressings, an Asian and Indian sauce. We're going to play with the Indian sauce. We make a cheese sauce mix where you can just add water, a little bit of cashews. You know, it's kind of a cheese sauce base that you can doctor up. That is our most popular product. We make a non-fortified nutritional yeast. We're going to use a few of these, so I'm not going to sit here and pub my products the whole time. Let's get right to it. I'm going to do, like I said, 4 super simple recipes, and they're all a little different, and so think of them all as like a blank canvas. You know, you can really explore with the flavors that you like. And I found that the best way to be successful with this way of eating is making it really, really fast, simple, brainless. Take the brain out of it. Use all the regular ingredients that you've already got on hand. If you can do that, you can create a system where you don't have to think, and you can just whip them out really fast. Boom, 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 recipe. And then you won't go to the fast food, the burrito store down the street, whatever it is, because you've made it really, really simple. So that is my shtick. Simple, simple, simple. You don't have to be a chef, fancy chef like Chef AJ.
I'm not fancy, Dillon. I really do cook like you. And lately I've been doing videos with no measurements. I mean, because I really think that's the only way it's sustainable.
I'm totally joking. You're not a fancy. You're not a fancy. Except those desserts you made on my channel, those were pretty fancy.
They were fancy because I was a pastry chef, but you know, in general, I'm really not fancy.
Right. No, I think I eat very similarly to Chef AJ, and we're using a lot of her favorite ingredients today.
Sweet potato.
Hell yeah. If you eat like AJ, then you eat like me, and you'll really like these recipes and how easy they are. So please, if you want, sign up for the cooking show free trial, and you'll get 10% off. If you sign up first and then go and buy the products, you should get 10% off in the store on any of the products that we're making, cooking with today. And we have free shipping at $50 to the USA. So with that, let's do it. There is a link down below. It's wellyourworld.com/AJ recipes. And you can get a nice PDF that looks like this. Here's the first recipe we're going to make. And you can download the PDF, print it out. You don't have to give me your email or anything. Just download the PDF from the link in the description box of this video. And then and then you'll be ready to go. So you can get that. And we're going to start with the very first one you just saw on your screen: barbecue, sweet potato, sheet pan. Sheet pan meals are underutilized, in my opinion. It is hot right now, so people try to avoid their oven, which is why we've got the Rebel Smart Oven too. That thing is really handy. I'm running 2 ovens today, so it's extra hot. But sheet pans are such an easy meal to make. I am using a sweet potato on this one, and all I do, I peeled it, but you don't have to. And then we're gonna cut it into some bite-sized pieces, whatever way that you like. And I usually make these pretty thin because we're gonna do other veggies too. So I'll try to cut these pretty thin so that they cook in like 25 minutes on the sheet pan. So I'll usually do 1 whole sweet potato. And please, if you have any questions, put them in the chat box. I'm used to being interrupted during the show, so if it's just me talking the whole time,
I'll interrupt you if you want. I enjoy watching you, but I'm happy to interrupt you if you like.
Yes, I'm just shopping, so now's a good time.
Say the link again to get the PDF, please.
It is wellyourworld.com/AJ recipes.
Thank you.
Now we can see both. You can see my face and my cutting board. We have so much fun doing this show. We've been doing it for like 4 years, way before cooking shows online were popular because of the pandemic. And so yeah, we've done it almost 100 times. We want to do something special for our 100th episode. I think we decided we might be doing another episode of 10-minute meals on that show. It's going to be our second show in August, so it's right around the corner. Like I said, Friday, our live show is our 98th, so we're almost there.
What you going to do for your 100th?
That's what I think we're going to do more 10-minute meals. So that'll be fun. So I've just got a bowl, and I'm going to throw all this stuff in here. And you don't have to get picky with how you're chopping. Just practice, go slow. Don't make it too hard on yourself. You could try this with frozen sweet potatoes, but they're going to be bigger chunks. It's up to you. And then I'll take any barbecue is going to have a little bit of red onion. So you just do some thin slices of red onion, and we'll throw that in the bowl with everything else. Boom, red onion. There's about half of a monster red onion. And with that, this is from Trader Joe's. AJ, I know you're a big fan of Trader Joe's. This is the char roasted corn. It's in the freezer section.
Oh, yeah, the fire roasted corn. Yep.
Yeah, fire roasted. We love this stuff. So I let it thaw, but you don't even have to. You could throw it right in the bowl frozen because we're throwing it in the oven. And then cabbage. I love cabbage in this dish too. It stays kind of a little bit crunchy. It's not like mushy or anything because cabbage is a more rugged veggie. So just take some cabbage. I'll do like 2 cups, cut off a couple hunks of cabbage, and then we'll just start shaving it up like coleslaw. And again, I just kind of, start slow with your knife and just chop it up. You can use your food processor if you prefer. But I'm just going to cut up about a couple cups worth.
Dylan,
and this will shrink down nicely. Yeah.
Mona wants to know what brand of the Breville will fit a sheet pan.
A half sheet pan like this one isn't going to fit in there in any Breville, but you can make a smaller portion. Our second recipe we're going to make using the one that comes with the Breville Smart Oven Air, and it's a little bit smaller. So you can make, I like when I'm doing sheet pan meals, I usually do like 2 sheet pans at once so that I've got a few meals out of it. I don't like to cook any more often than I have to. I love doing it for the show and designing recipes and coming up with ideas. But I also have to just eat for me. And when you're cooking everything for yourself and not going out, we're in the middle of our July challenge right now. So I've been like extra perfect with my diet. It gets old cooking all the time. So we need these shortcuts. I think that's why our 10-minute meals episode was so popular. It's on our channel. You can watch it right now, by the way. Not right now. Don't watch it right now.
I'll put a link and have them watch it next.
But it's got to be simple, and you've got to take care of a few meals. So I like to make a big batch of this. Usually it's 2 sheet pans. I didn't know how much I'd make today. And then you've got enough for lunch tomorrow or dinner. I'll often make a big bowl, a big pot of something, and I'll just eat it all day long. And it will be all 3 of my meals for that day. So I'll end up finishing it, but it started out as a big double batch. So here it is. This is everything that we just tossed together. Imagine this on a sheet pan. We don't have to because we're about to do it. Break up that onion a little bit. And now it's really just as simple. I better get my monster spoon. That's kind of a big tank. This is my big spoon. This is the serious one. And we make amazing barbecue sauce, all SOS free, of course. Every one of our products is SOS free, vegan, SOS free. Our whole company is that. We will never change. So you can rest assured that everything you get from us is going to follow our way of eating. There are no exceptions to that. So take some barbecue sauce and just start pouring it on and then toss it around. Whoops, have a close up. Throw it on here. The barbecue sauce, it's nice. It's like just the right thickness. So there'll be a little bit of liquid come out of our veggies. So it'll be just right. You don't need to add anything else to this. We better open another bottle. Any other questions going in the chat?
Oh, sorry, I'm watching you. You make it look so easy. Apple says the t-shirts that Reebs makes are the best.
Yeah, we do.
The site for the recipes. If you click the link, if you just go to the show notes, the link is there and it's clickable. By show notes, just look under the video.
Yes, and there's AJ's link there to our products as well. If you want to browse all of the different products that we sell, we've got some veggie broths powders coming soon, because who wants to buy quarts and quarts of veggie stock all the time? You can just whip up your own real fast. So here we go. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? We've got, I made it pretty saucy. This is like Reeb's amount of saucy. She likes it saucy. So that's it. All we're going to do now is take our sheet pan, spread it out. I think I can fit this on one, but it's a bit aggressive. Maybe I need to cut it back. And I'll just spread this. Yeah, that's too much for one, bro. What were you thinking? Let's get a second one going, because we do want it to cook. We want it to actually cook. And the sweet potatoes could use a little bit of space, so don't get too crazy. There we go. So 2 sheet pans. This is a nice big batch, lasts you a few meals. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let me rinse my hands. Let's throw that in the oven. It takes about 25 minutes at 400. And this works for we did a barbecue, but you can do anything. We do a Mexican style fajita type of sheet pan all the time. We do a tofu scramble sheet pan. You can go nuts and do all kinds of things. And it's always the same amount of time, the same temperature, same time, it's that simple. We try to make it so that none of our recipes are techniques or ideas that you haven't thought of before one way or another. You just might need a little more vocabulary to give you, more alternatives, more different little changes. There are only so many techniques we really use when cooking in our kitchen. And at the end of the day, we're just swapping out ingredients and doing something a little bit different. So with that, we will come back to that. And I better set a timer. We're going to make some cauliflower bites. Equally simple, if not even easier, 25 minutes. So that's recipe number 1. We're going to come back. We'll taste everything and put it all together kind of as we go here. But I wanted to get the 2 that are going to be in the oven going the soonest. Okay, cauliflower bites. I've got 1 big head of cauliflower here. I don't know if we're going to use it all, depending on how much of the batter that we mix up. But I've just cut it into bite-sized pieces. It's that simple. Core it, chop it up. I decided to do that in advance to save some time. So here's what we're going to do and again, don't forget to click the link. All of these recipes are right below for free, and you can get them right now and check them out.
I have a cauliflower crown right now in my fridge, and I'm wondering what to do with it.
Well, here you go. So we're going to play with some chickpea flour. Let's start with that. So I'm going to do about a half a cup of chickpea flour. I can't remember how much plant milk I use, so we're going to experiment with that as we go. I've got some of our nooch. Our nutritional yeast is a non-fortified nutritional yeast. It's the best flavor, the best price of any of the non-fortified ones. So please try us out. And again, you get free shipping at $50. So try out a few products. If there's something you hate, email me and I'll give you store credit towards something else. Onion powder and garlic powder, some black pepper, a couple tablespoons worth of nutritional yeast, really simple stuff. Let's just kind of whisk these dry ingredients together. And then we're going to add just enough plant milk to make this into something that we can dip our cauliflower bites into to coat them. So why don't I get my, this is here again is that Breville sheet pan with a little bit of parchment on there. Oh, and I want to throw in our Stardust. If you haven't tried our Stardust, it's our salt substitute. It's really, really good. People love this one. And it just gives, it's none of that potassium fake stuff or anything like that. This is with real food ingredients. Some celery seed gives it a little bit of that saltiness. And so I like to give it a little saltiness with a teaspoon or two of our Stardust. We also have a Galaxy Dust, which I pretty much made for AJ that doesn't have pepper. And so there's a couple of different salt substitutes that we sell online. We're going to play with.
Does your broth have pepper? Your new broth that's coming out?
I think one of them is not. I'm working on a plain. I haven't decided if I'm going to have 2 or 4, but one of them I'm working on is AJ approved, and that it doesn't have black pepper because you don't eat it. I know the other ones are still AJ approved.
Yeah, no, they're all approved. Just I'm allergic. That's the only reason. Yep.
Right.
Thanks for making some without. Appreciate it.
I'm going to start with a half a cup. I think I'm going to need more like a cup though. That's just, I don't think that's going to be enough. So my recipe has the wrong number on it, but just, you're going to add, I mean, you can just eyeball it. I'm all about eyeballing it. Don't be afraid to start eyeballing things. So this is, you know what, actually I didn't add very much, and what I had going was probably pretty close to the half a cup mark. Once you start with chickpea flour, it really turns into a batter. It doesn't take a lot of liquid. So we've just made like a nice batter. Let's try that. If it seems too thick on our first few bits of cauliflower here, we can add a little bit more soy milk. I use just plain single ingredient soy milk. I love the one from Trader Joe's. It's the cheapest. It's got no junk in it. I hate the sweeteners and the flavorings that they put in, like a lot of soy and almond milks. No good. So I go with the plain stuff, and I can add my flavors myself. That's how I feel about salt too. I don't eat a totally salt-free diet. I like, you know, I'm more like John McDougall, to be honest. I'll sprinkle it on the table, but I do not use products that already have salt, aside from maybe a little miso paste, soy sauce once in a while. But I try to avoid, like anytime I'm buying beans or canned tomatoes, I always try to get the no salt added, because they pack in so much salt that you have no real idea how much you're actually eating. And it's not just about blood pressure, you know, it's about, it makes me eat way more when things are really, really salty.
Yeah, that is so true. You know, here's some nice comments. Michelle says, best nooch ever. I used to dislike nooch, not now. Mona says, I love his nooch. And there is a question from Lindsay. Can you tell me why the nutritional yeast is better when it's unfortified?
Well, the fortified stuff's got all kinds of synthetic vitamin B stuff that we don't need. You know, we need vitamin B12. So you've got to take your vitamin B12 supplement, you know, as consistently as you need to. I take 1,000 microgram capsule. This is the one I use, the Pure Encapsulations one. This is the one Alan Goldhammer sells at True North. So it's the one that I buy.
I take it too. Do you take it every day? I only take it every other day.
I take it every other day, but right now I'm taking it every day because my blood work was a little bit low last time, and I want to get it boosted, and I'm going to do my blood work again at the end of my July challenge. So that's why I've been taking it every day. But generally speaking, 1,000 micrograms every other day is best, every 2-3 days, if your numbers are already good. And you can check your B12, your homocysteine. We have a site we can go and just order our own blood work called Request a Test. And they had a deal this week, so I ordered that, and I ordered a whole bunch of things. And if my numbers are not embarrassing, I'll show them on my channel. I don't think they'll be bad. I've been loving this July challenge, because when we had the baby, we were eating like takeout, which is often really salty and sometimes oily too, depending on where you go. And so we really needed to just get into the habit of taking some of that stuff back out of our diet, focusing on the really, really simple meals again, and just practicing the process, the mechanical habits of throwing together quick, easy meals. Don't worry about the outcome. I'm not dwelling on, oh, what's my blood work going to be like? If it's not where I want it to be, then whatever, I'll check it the next month. And that's what I did when I first started eating this way, because frankly, I didn't believe John McDougall when I read The Starch Solution. I thought this dude sounded crazy. And I did it, and my cholesterol dropped 40 points in 1 month. I did a 30-day challenge. I said, okay, John, I'll do this. And my mother and I both did it, and we both dropped our cholesterol 40 points in 1 month. Coincidentally, it was both the exact same number. So the diet works. Eating healthy food really does yield a great outcome, a great health. But the hard part is doing it every day and finding ways to simplify things so that you're not overcomplicating it. You know, AJ and I talk about, you don't have to do the same 12 things every day in your diet or whatever they are. Everybody's got a different list of what you got to do every day to be healthy. But when it really comes down to it, listen to AJ, listen to Alan Goldhammer. You can live off of broccoli and pinto beans for quite a long time and still be totally nutritionally sound. So just focus on whatever it's going to take for you to keep eating the healthy food day in, day out. And that is the purpose of my channel. I'm not here to convert people. I'm not an activist. I'm here for the people that already know what they need to do and need a little bit of help making it faster and easier and something that they can really stick to. That is a sheet pan of cauliflower. Let's put it in the Breville and be done with that one.
So where were you going for takeout? Like an Asian restaurant kind of thing?
Yes, it's usually sushi. And then I can't eat sushi without the soy sauce because I'm an addict. So I'm always dunking each piece in soy sauce. I mean, how many tablespoons of soy sauce must I eat when I go out for sushi? Because sushi is not that filling. That's the other thing, is $5 a roll, $7 a roll for a veggie roll, an asparagus, a cucumber, an avocado roll, whatever. And I'm like still starving. And I've spent like 50 bucks. And it's like, why am I doing this? I can just go home and throw something together from my freezer, you know, like we did on the 10-minute meals show, like we're doing now, and save the money, get full, and actually feel satisfied after, and not be like starving for this weird thirst satisfaction because I've just ingested thousands of milligrams of sodium. You know what I mean? So that's my shtick. That's what I'm all about. And that's why we make our cooking show. The other thing that's really important that we found is a sense of community. You know, our cooking show is not an instructional show per se. It is if you're new, because you're going to be exposed to a lot of really great new ideas. By the way, we're going to toss the cauliflower bites when they come out in our dressings. Two of Chef AJ's favorites are sweet mustard and sweet heat. And she really liked when I introduced these to her, doing both together. So we're maybe going to do a toss of a sweet heat and a sweet mustard together. And then we can try our desert Catalina. I love on savory things. It's a salad dressing, but it's one I designed more for a veggie salad, like a cowboy caviar salads, like chunky salads, not necessarily green salads. So it's like a sweet version of a barbecue ketchup sort of a flavor. And so it's going to be great on the cauliflower bites. Anyway, I don't know what I was ranting on, but sense of community. Our show is all about getting everybody together, feeling like you're not the only one in your whole world that eats like this, because it can be a little daunting if nobody in your family eats like you. So our show is a really fun place for people to hang out. Reebs and I carry on and act like dorks, you know, because that's what we are. And so people like to come and hang out. It's not only about learning how to cook, but it is a great place to come up with good ideas. Wash your whisk right away so it doesn't get chunky. How hard is that going to be to clean once it's all crusty and dry? So give it a little spray, clean that thing off, and then you won't have to spend so much time doing your dishes. I like to do my dishes kind of as I go. So next, we're going to make some chickpea lettuce cups that are crazy easy. Okay? Crazy easy. These are going to be, we're going to use our Indian sauce. You could easily just use our Asian sauce too. Our Asian and Indian are super popular. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. Anything else anybody wants to know, AJ, while we're
you like to do your dishes as you go along. I don't like to do my dishes at all.
Well, that
Where
would
do
be
you go? Yeah,
best.
Diane says, where do you go in Phoenix for sushi?
I mean, you can go anywhere. Any sushi place can accommodate vegans, but it's going to be white rice and it's going to be white rice, nori, and cucumber avocado. You're going to pay 10 times what you could if you just made our simple sushi bowl. But yeah, you can go for, I mean, they're just veggie rolls. You can't order 98% of the menu. Why would you want to? It's all garbage. But you can get the simple stuff, the veggie rolls and stuff. But again, you're gonna eat a bunch of salt. It's sitting right there on the table.
Yeah.
So
You know, restaurants use more salt than even a person would at home. They really
definitely,
do.
definitely. Most chefs don't actually know how to make food taste good from the
Without
actual
salt.
food.
I know.
So with this lettuce cup, I'm gonna prep just a couple of things, but this is so easy. I'm gonna chop some green onions here, and I'm gonna chop a little bit of mint. And both of these are honestly optional, but they lighten it up a little bit and make it taste nice and fresh with some fresh ingredients. So I'm just chopping up a couple of green onions. I do the white parts and the yellow, green parts. And we're gonna sprinkle this on kind of as we're sauteing this on the stove. So I'll set that there. And then I've got here some fresh mint. So I'm gonna just take 5, 6, 7, whatever mint leaves, and we'll just chop them up. I love the mint. And again, it goes really well with the Asian or the Indian version. And this is sort of a modified recipe that we actually did on our 10-minute meals show a couple weeks ago. And we used various spices and things. Well, you can cut that whole step out if you use our bottled sauces. So try them out. I would love to hear your feedback. I answer all of our emails. So, and our emails on every bottle, and it's very easy to get hold of me. So there we have a little bit of chopped mint, boom, 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 some garlic. We'll throw on some sesame seeds. And now let's go over to the stove. But before I do, let me just show you. So I've got 1 can of chickpeas. Again, try to find the no salt added. If you can't, at least give them a really good rinse. It's still going to be salty. But Sprouts usually has the no salt added chickpeas is where I often find them. Throw them in. Let's take our bottle of Indian sauce and we'll go over to the stove. Check out the stove cam and we'll get this thing cranking. And I'm just going to give this a shake. Because we're using whole real ingredients and we're not using emulsifiers and fake stuff, the product might separate a little in the jar. So just give it a shake. Eyeball however much, 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup. We'll maybe throw in just a little bit of liquid since we're sauteing. I always have my kettle next to the stove and it's usually hot so that I'm not cooling everything down. And because we're going to evaporate a bit of this off. So we don't want our sauce to get too thick right off the bat. And we're really just heating these chickpeas through. We're not cooking anything. The sauce and the chickpeas are already cooked, but let's just let that get hot. And then we'll come over here and get the rest of our stuff. And we'll take it over to the stove. I need a little plate for that. Here's one. So let's throw our mint on here, our onions on here, and we'll throw this in as we go. I'm going to want these too. Oh, it smells good already. And all I've done is chopped a little mint and threw the sauce on the stove. So I usually heat up the chickpeas first. They take a little longer than everything else, and I don't want to totally overcook my, I'm going to actually switch to a spatula for this. I don't want to overcook my mint and my onions. So I'll usually do the chickpeas for just a minute or two. You can tell now that these chickpeas are going to be hot. The sauce is thickening back up. So if you want, you can add a little bit of water. But honestly, this is so fast that we're like ready to go. Let's throw in. Actually, I'm going to throw in this garlic. You could throw the garlic in the first step too, to let it cook a little bit more. So there, now we're just getting this nice, thick chickpeas and sauce and garlic. My sauce already has garlic, but I'm kind of a garlic freak. When you're not cooking with salt and oil, adding lots of garlic and onion is like my jam. That's got to be there.
Well, not just you, but everybody. You know, I mean, I've talked to so many chefs, and they always say that garlic and onion is the foundation of cooking. So how do people cook without it, especially when it's salt-free? I can't make things taste good without onion.
I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one that feels that way. So let's throw these in. Everything's thickening up really nicely. So at this point, I'm not going to add any more water. We're just going to give these a quick little kind of flash saute the mint and the onions. And now I'm going to sprinkle in some sesame seed on there. Maybe just a tablespoon or so of sesame seeds. You don't have to do them. They look pretty and they give it a little bit of richness. And boom, we're done. Remove it from the stove. Let's go make a lettuce cup, shall we?
How do you keep up with everything, all your emails and everything? How do you do that?
Find yourself a Reebs. It was really hard when I was on my own, but now we have a team of 5 people. You know, we're not doing it all ourselves. If the email is just like, oh, my bottle broke in the mail, you know, that doesn't require, I can use kind of a templated response. I don't have to get in there and say a bunch of things. But you know, because we have Reebs and her assistant are doing a lot of the marketing stuff. Me and my assistant and the warehouse are working together on the operational stuff. So we're just cranking it out. And so we have like really 2 departments, if you will, and it just works.
Wow.
You know, we have
Amazing.
the perfect, if we get too busy, if this show is too successful, then we're just going to keep growing. We're making more products. I haven't done a bunch of ads and things to grow like that. I wanted to grow word of mouth, people that know who we are, that care about what we stand for. And I like building a community of like-minded individuals. I don't want to be just another Walmart selling stuff or a Trader Joe's. I want to be a healthy online version of a Trader Joe's. That would be a cool thing to get to work toward, but I'm not in a rush to get there. You know, our bills are paid thanks to all the support we get from people buying our products. We also have our first ever cookbook. People waited 5 years for this dang cookbook. And finally, it took Reebs to finally get it done. And it's a really great cookbook. And we've got like 5 other cookbooks that are going to be coming soon. We'll trickle them out as I get them edited and done. But there's another one I have like 90% edited that we're going to have out hopefully in the next few weeks. And so we're just going to keep putting out stuff that people find helpful. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not here to sell stuff to you. I'm here to try to make your life better and easier and faster at all the things that we know lead to great health. So that's, I think, why Well Your World is special. So with
Dave
that,
says it's a great cookbook and congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate you saying that. And this is it, man. We've got starch, we've got flavor, we've got our greens. Could it get any simpler than this? I don't think so. You've got a lettuce cup. And what did it take on the stove? We were over there for like 3 minutes. And you can make, so like these excuses, you know, that we all do it. We all tell ourselves something, some reason. The baby's crying more, let's go grab takeout. You know, let's go grab a pho. You know, that pho, you can get a vegan broth. You can get, but it's full of salt and it's full of sugar. SOS-free. So good. I spilled on the floor. Oh, these are good. This is last time I did it with the Asian. This is really, really tasty. I love our Indian sauce. It's not like hot spicy, but it's got all the Indian flavors that you want. And if you're not totally SOS free and you do add salt, like I do it on some meals, whoo, that's hot. Oh boy. Sprinkle a little bit of salt on here by hand, you know. Try not to buy the fancy salts that take us down the salt rabbit hole and give us salt FOMO. That's good. It's hot though. Temperature hot. You know, the more of the fancy salt products you use, I find the more salt you use, the more food you eat, and the less satisfied you are with your overall health. Whether it's a high blood pressure or it's that your portions are getting too artificially big because you're salting everything. I can eat 2 more bowls of soup if it's salty than otherwise. That is so good. This is such a light, crispy snack. You can whip this. You can do this cold. You could take this just like this in a Tupperware container to work with your lettuce, you know, pre-spun and ready to go. And you can just have a snack at your desk. Make it your whole lunch because again, it's starchy and it's filling and you're getting all the different things. I'm just going to finish this. How are we doing on time? Oh boy, I got one more. We got 20 minutes. Are you going to cut me off right at 3?
No, I'm not.
Good, because I'm kind of a big deal. All right, that's that. So super easy. We got 2 sauces that make that recipe so simple and fast. Okay. Recipe number 4, I think, is going to be my favorite one, and yours maybe too. It's a really cool idea. Reebs invented this one, and it's a really nice wrap using the Trader Joe's lavash. I don't know if you know that product, AJ. I don't think you eat it.
I don't, yeah, I don't even.
But you've probably seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's like a flatbread, right?
And it is oil-free. It does have a little bit of salt in it, but you can also do this with corn tortillas. You know, Reebs avoids gluten most of the time because she does have a little bit of a mild sensitivity. So you can do this with corn tortillas. You can make this a dip, and you can just make corn tortilla chips in the oven. We have a video all about making chips and those kinds of hacks, those little kitchen hacks that make our way of cooking so much easier. Okay, this is our smashed, excusez-moi. This is our smashed chickpea avocado dip and wrap, if you will. So let's get another bowl and let's rock this thing. I got 3 minutes on the sheet pan and I've still got 12 minutes on those. Excuse me. Okay, so this is the lavash. We'll get to that last, but this is what it looks like. We'll talk about that some more as we go here. So again, what I'm going to start with, oh, I already have this in a bowl. We're going to do more chickpeas. If you can't tell, I do love chickpeas. They're so filling. They're like sweet, creamy perfection. I don't know what they are, but they're really good and fast. So I go through a lot of chickpeas. For a while, I was canning my own to save money and to ensure that they're actually salt-free. So you can make your own, the hummuses, so many ways to use chickpeas. And we are making a dip with some smashed chickpeas. And I've got 2 cans in here. I've just rinsed and drained them. And I'm just gonna go to town with my potato masher on these. And you don't need to turn them into a cream or anything. You want a coarse, sort of a coarse, spread. We're gonna add some avocado. If you don't wanna add avocado, you could blend up some white beans and water, something to make sort of a creamy, something with an avocado-like texture. If you're avoiding the avocado because of the fat, you could use 1. I often use 2 for this. But this makes a lot. Like, you're not getting a boatload of avocado. It's like making a much less calorie dense guacamole is kind of what this dip is, because we've got 2 whole cans of chickpeas in here. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we're just smashing. That's pretty good. I've got everything nice and coarse, but pretty well consistent at this point. And now I'm just going to take, I'll do 2. But you could easily just do 1. Ooh, I went right through the pit on that. And we're just gonna spoon in this avocado. And we'll give it a little bit more of a mash. I'm gonna let this continue to cook. It looks so good. I'll pull it out in a minute. Don't let me forget. So we'll open up these avocados. And I'll grab a spoon. It's easiest to use like a regular cereal bowl type of spoon. What do they call it? A regular kitchen spoon?
Mm-hmm.
A tablespoon? Okay. And just spoon these in. I got a little bit of skin in there. And it's so simple. We're just going to keep smashing with the masher. And we'll throw in a few more ingredients, and we're just going to keep adding to this. And as you're doing this, think about what you might have in your fridge right now that you could play around with to make this a really flavorful dip. You may not like cilantro or green onions or whatever else that we're going to throw in here. So think about what you could do to modify this base. You know, the chickpeas are the base. Of course, this could be a potato-based dish, you know, potatoes and white beans instead of chickpeas and avocado. Just start dreaming of, you know what you like. And all that comes down to is finding ways to keep eating the things that you like in a fast, simple way. Okay? Smash. Let's smash. So don't overdo it. It doesn't take much with avocado. And we're just going to, I guess I can just stir it with this, right? I'm going to need my monster spoon again. So we've just kind of incorporated all this. Boom. So you can see now that it's going to be nice and spreadable. Again, I like to rinse these things right off the bat so they don't get too crusty. Now let's do some cherry tomatoes. I love this with cherry tomatoes. So I just quarter them. If your knife's sharp, it's real fast and easy to quarter some cherry tomatoes. I'll do a whole pint. Any questions, AJ, while I'm doing a little bit of chopping here?
A little bit of chopping. Let me see. They're all talking amongst themselves because they all know you and love you. Oh yeah, here. Yes, we do have a question from Leah. Are you guys able to ship to Canada yet?
No, they've been tacking on, like, it's cost like $45 US to ship to Canada. So I'm not even offering it because it's so crazy. The customs is like $20 out of that. And because it's food, I'm hoping that we can eventually get our cookbook shipped out there at least. I'm a Canadian citizen. I should just buy, build another warehouse like I did here, ship myself pallets of it so that I can deal with all of the customs and importing myself, and then hire another crew to ship in Canada. Then we'll have 2 locations, and I can be not living in Phoenix, Arizona in this hellish hot summer during, I would say 4 or 5 months of the year. What do you think? What do you think of my plan, y'all?
I'd love it. If somebody really wanted to pay that though, could they request it?
I haven't, been doing that. I could, but that's a lot of money.
Some people, it might be worth it.
Maybe. I'll continue to do my best and find more ways of getting it across the border, smuggle it. But right now, the best way to do it that's going to be your most affordable option and probably cheaper than what I could do is they have some of those forwarding websites like Planet Express or My US or something like that, where you can send it to a US address and then they'll forward it because they're actually experts with international shipping. And with me, I don't have that high of a demand internationally. So it's hard for me to compete with those kinds of companies. So you could have our product shipped to a US address and then it could be forwarded on via one of those companies. And that's probably not much more than what I would have been able to do it. Where's my little recipe for this? I want to make sure I've got everything. Here it is. So I'm going to throw in, so we had the chickpeas, the tomatoes, the avocado. I'm going to throw in some green onions. You could use red onion if you prefer red onion. Sky's the limit. You can do whatever you like. Just use your imagination and apply this to whatever ingredients are your favorites. I love Latin flavors, so it's very easy for me to turn something into a Mexican dish because all of it's just memorized for me because I do it so often. Another thing, I'll often add the corn. This is again the fire roasted corn from Trader Joe's, or you could just use a can of corn that you've rinsed and drained. I often will add it to my wrap, but why not just add it to the whole thing here? I'm going to throw in, I've got a little bit of minced garlic. I love fresh garlic from the bulb, mince it with the garlic press, but you want to know what saves time is just using the jarred stuff. So if you're okay with the jarred stuff being a little bit less potent, you just use extra. I love to save time and buy that whole big tank of it from Costco in the big jar. I like to add a little heat to this. So I'll throw in a jalapeno or 2. Essentially, it really is similar to a guac, but with the chickpeas. And so it's not anything you probably haven't tasted before, just in a fast, easy way. So chop a little bit of jalapeno. Boom, boom, boom.
You use the seeds when you use your jalapeno?
No, what I'll do is I'll take it and I'll chop the top off first, and then I'll just chop around the core. So some seeds are inevitably going to get in because I can't perfectly chop around the core, but then I'll be left with the core there and I'll toss that. So I'm taking out most of the seeds and then I just cut it into little lengths and then turn them and then cut, chop, chop, chop. We've spent time, a few cooking shows back, we spent time going through how to chop all the different veggies and chopping techniques. That's a fun episode to do. We'll do that. That's kind of a recurring theme. When I get enough requests for it, I'll do it. We love to make things on the show that are what you ask for. In case you're wondering, these are the next 2 shows we've got coming up. On Friday, we're doing camping meals. And then 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks after that, our first show for August is going to be what Reeves has called blank canvas recipes. One of them is going to be a tamale pie, and a few others where, again, kind of like I've been preaching at you here, is recipes where you can modify them very easily to fit your own taste. Not everybody likes the same ingredients, but those recipes that we're going to do on the 12th for our first August show are going to be recipes that can easily be changed, modified, tweaked. It's more of the process that is going to help you. So take away this, as more of a guide than a specific recipe. I'm squeezing in a couple of limes. I love the flavor of lime. And now I've got a bunch of cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you could play with parsley and basil. You could leave it out because we've already got tons of flavor in here. And we're just gonna chop this up. Just rough chop it. You don't have to do anything fancy. And then, boom, good enough for me.
Hey, Susanna is in Canada, and she did the trick that you mentioned about, having like a PO box or something on the US. She said that USA shipping places just charge you around $2 USD to receive your parcels from USA companies. She's only been charged duty once in 12 years, and she ordered from you recently.
Well, that's great. I was getting charged more than that. Now for this, but I'm glad the method works. Definitely good to know that people are using it successfully. This is one of our most popular new products. This is our chili lime seasoning. It is not hot. It's pretty mild. It gives you lots of chili flavor and lime flavor. This is the one I wanted to showcase for this one. I like to throw in like check it out, a good couple of teaspoons of this. It's just so good. Just sprinkle it on there. You can put it right on a wrap too. And now I need my monster spoon. And now we're just gonna stir it up. Now watch it become a most beautiful dip. We've got corn in here. We've got corn, the chickpeas. So it's starchy. It's got the richness from the avocado. It's got the freshness of the tomatoes and the spring onions. It's got it all. So I love just taking this, spreading it on the lavash, and you've got every bit of flavor that you could ever imagine. This keeps pretty well if you close this in an airtight container without a bunch of space. So like put it in a Tupperware that's just the right size for it. Then your avocado won't oxidize too much and it can last for a couple days in the fridge. But this, look at how beautiful this just became. This is just such a nice looking spread. And you can use it as a dip. You can use it in lettuce cups like you just saw me do. You got a million different things you can do. So let's take our lavash and oh, I got to get this other one out of the oven too. Where are my pot holders? I thought I got them out, but whatever, we'll get new ones. I'm gonna pull out the barbecue sheet pan. I did go a little long because I forgot about it, but it still looks great. We've got let's get rid of this. The cauliflower, I'm just gonna crack it. Oh yeah, that looks good. I don't want them to cook, but it's off now, so that's cool. Let's make a wrap before we finish up with those other two dishes that we started with. How about that? So here's my last lavash. I went to Trader Joe's today to buy some more. And all I'm gonna do here is just get crazy. Throw it on there, spread it on. I don't like a small wrap. Let's fill it up with flavor. So now we got lots of filling ingredients here. We got the lavash itself, the corn, the garbanzos, and here's another product. AJ, you've probably seen that one. The cruciferous crunch is one of my favorites.
Charles's favorite, yep.
And this one is great for wraps. It's got the kale, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, everything's ready to go. Boom, boom, boom. Throw it on there like that. Now you could I don't think it needs anything else. Like sauce-wise, I think this is great. Now we're just gonna wrap it. So I just go past everything and pull it back nice and tight. Boom, roll it up. And you got yourself a most perfect, beautiful wrap. Check it out. Isn't that nice?
Oh my God, that looks like a restaurant made it. It's so perfect. I never was good at wrapping those things.
It's better than a restaurant could make it.
Oh, I agree.
And what would you pay for this? Like $15?
Yeah, at least.
Oh, that's good. I love this one. This is, like I said, this is probably one of my faves. We've been making this a lot right now because we did it on the 10-minute meals and it's staying fresh. I'm doing all those meals. I've made all of them like 2-3 times this week. Okay. I don't want to upset anybody, but that's good. Okay. Oh man, you're gonna want to try that. I'll make a YouTube video of this one soon too, because people got to see this one. It's too easy not to. I need a plate. We started on YouTube. I was making YouTube videos for a couple years before we ever came up with products. It was probably a year and a half in summer of 2018 when I finally started doing the cooking show, and we did it on Zoom, and we let people talk because it was just me. I couldn't read the chat box and cook at the same time. So it was on Zoom, and there were like 20 of us that tuned in. I had a dream, and now we've got a lot more than that.
That's incredible. Awesome. Yeah.
We started our free trial with like 1,000 people, and now we've got like 1,400 people. It's been crazy this month how many people liked the not 10-minute show enough and didn't think I was a jerk enough that they actually wanted to sign up and see what we're all about. So it warms my heart. Let's make some cauliflower bites. We're going a little long, AJ.
Don't worry.
Mitts go.
That's okay.
I've been chatty. Okay, so we've got our, check this out up close, y'all. We've got our bites. They're nice, they're crispy. The batter, I put plenty of batter on them, but they're just perfect. Now you can go ahead and just, what do you want to try? Let's do what I said, and we'll mix them up with a little bit of our sweet mustard and sweet heat. These two are like my favorites. I'll just make French fries with the little French fry cutter on my food processor and throw them in the air fryer, and I'll just dip in these. So throw in, you don't need a measurement on this. Just throw in a little bit. We're gonna mix these together like AJ taught me to do.
Yeah, they're good together.
And then just take your bites, toss them in. Let's get another spoon and just give these a little toss. So we're just really coating them with a bit of sauce. That was plenty. Let's throw in even more because that's plenty of sauce. And more. I don't want them to be too saucy because they'll get soft. If you make more than you can eat in a few minutes, then you're gonna make them soggy. So right now they're gonna be nice, warm, crispy. Boom, you got cauliflower bites just like bar food. You know what I mean? Bar food from home. You can hang out, eat healthy food. You're not compromising your health. Everybody else will love these too, even if they don't eat like you. You could sprinkle on a little salt if you need to satisfy them. Oh, I love roasted cauliflower. This is awesome. So there you have it. I'm burning my mouth, but they're good. Oh.
It's too hot.
Okay, so we have one more meal to put together, but I need a minute, man, with these. This is good. Ask me some questions or something. This is tasty.
You're so funny. Well, it's Josette's saying, I'm struggling to find anything to eat anymore since being made aware that nuts, seeds, avocado, Ezekiel breads, oats, tofu, etc. are best avoided to lose weight. They were some of my go-tos. I see that all the whole food plant-based doctors and Dillon, along with most everyone eating these, and they are fine and healthy. I'm so confused. First of all, nobody ever says to avoid oats. Oats is not in the same category as bread, nuts, seeds, and avocado. So I don't see everyone eating those. So
loads of our recipes don't include those ingredients, and we often during our show when we're showing new recipes, we're talking about ways to leave out those things. We don't use a lot of flours in our show. We did today. We did use avocado, but I talked about using white beans. And so there are ways to, what you're concerned with here is just that process of figuring it out, and you only have to figure it out one time. AJ makes tons of recipes on her channel. I mean, you can go back years on Chef AJ's channel to all of her recipes. There are loads and loads you have to find 6, 7, 8 recipes that you love. And that is what you just got to hit over and over. Just play the hits, And, you'll come up with new ideas by watching our show and other YouTubers, whatever. And you'll just start to integrate these new ideas and drop one recipe out and bring a new one in. But there is no shortage of recipes that follow your exact diet. So don't get discouraged, but you are going to have to kind of change the way you think about food. Food isn't an orgasm in your mouth like it is on all these cooking shows on TV. You know, food needs to be a way to enjoy your life, not focused on the eating all the time. The reason that my show, I think, is different is because I'm trying to get you out of the kitchen, not to focus on being in the kitchen or sitting around the table with everybody. You know, that is great, but there are so many other things to do that are not food. Stop creating food as a party in your mouth. Simplify it. And the longer you go simplifying it and enjoying simple flavors, the more they're going to taste good over time. And when you go back to eating the rich junk, it's like not that good anymore until you get into a bad habit. And then you need to refocus on the process and get rid of that crap again, like it happened to me when Luca was born.
Mm-hmm. So here's a question that I don't quite understand. That can you do the whole show on YouTube? That's the only place you do the show, right?
Yes, we do it on YouTube. But for our member shows, we use an unlisted link. So it is still on YouTube. It's still on the YouTube chat box. Everything is on YouTube. So it's very easy to get to. Our replays we have embedded on our website. So you just log into our website and you can access all of our replays and everything very easily. We have one last meal. I did burn this a little bit, but mostly what you see burned is the sauce. So it's not really burned. So let's dress this up. Here's how I love to do this one. I can touch this now. I love to do a bowl of quinoa and then all of our sheet pan stuff. And we just take, this is the barbecue. Remember we made at the beginning, the very first thing we made. So what you see now is really not burnt stuff. It's just dark bits. Oh, the tips of some of my sweet potatoes are a little burned, I admit. But here we go. Boom, 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 barbecue sheet pan. And then, of course, we love to throw a little bit of extra barbecue on top, just a drizzle to give it a little bit of a sauciness, okay? And then boom, you can serve this over, I did it over quinoa. Again, here's a perfect example. No overt fats like nuts, seeds, avocado, no flour products, very, very simple and fast and easy and delicious. Our barbecue, you would hardly know that it's different, except that it doesn't leave a salty aftertaste. And boom, this is totally compliant with the diet. So you can get as calorie dilute as you want. All of our products are free of overt fats as well. They're completely a Chef AJ approved set of rules. So here's our barbecue sheet pan.
Yeah. Really nice. How do you make it so that you're always hungry during your shows, or are you just always hungry?
Well, this actually was my first set of meals for the day.
That's why.
But I eat quite a bit. You know, I'm working out a lot more now this month as part of my challenge. And I have noticed that I definitely get hungry more often than when I am less active. So we did 4 meals. We did this one, the barbecue sheet pan, so simple. We got enough barbecue here for this is not even a normal person's portion. This is a ton of food. And I probably got 4 bowls like that out of these 2 sheet pans. So you can be eating this for a couple of days. You got the cauliflower bites to give you that quick, easy snack that you can whip up without saying, okay, I want a snack, and then go for the bag of potato chips. My kettle chips are my weakness. They always have been. I've never been a sweets person. It's always been the oily kettle chips. And if I can create things like this, or make my own taco chips and make a little pico de gallo, whatever, boom, I've satiated that desire. This dip is a calorie dilute version of guac. So we did our avocado schmear. And then we did our chickpea lettuce cups. I'll show you those again. These were just so easy. All we did was throw in some sauce, the chickpeas, a little bit of fresh spring onions and mint, which is totally optional. I'll do this a lot of times with literally nothing but the chickpeas, the garlic, and the sauce. So you do not have to get fancy. Wrap it up in some lettuce. Do it on a lavash if you're eating a more calorie dense diet with some of the flour products. You got all kinds of options. So those are our 4 recipes using our products. We'd love to invite you to join us for our cooking show. There's the link. The free trial we're doing right now is down at the bottom there. Go there, type in your details, boom, you'll immediately get an email with the link for this coming show. And I also included the links to our last show because it's been such a crazy popular show. What else did I want to show you? Oh, we've got our cookbook. If I could show you that. Tons of really easy, this is all, the recipes still follow our same sort of style of fast, simple, get in, get out. Life is more than what exists at the kitchen and around the dinner table. And then, of course, our products. We're doing our cooking show on Friday with the camping. We'll show you some of our camping hacks, our tips and tricks. This is our foil pack potatoes and veggies with a little bit of tofu scramble in there. I'll show you how to make that. There's Reebs looking beautiful at the campground. This was the first time I took her to the Grand Canyon last year, and she loved it. So we got to go back. And our little camp set. So we'll show you kind of all these little tips, tricks, and things over camping when you're out. Because camping is such a great way for people who eat like us to go travel, because you take all your own stuff. You don't have to worry about restaurants, this and that. You don't have to look up who's got the vegan place. How am I going to modify the food there? Better call the chef, blah, blah, blah. Oh, does my room have a kitchen? You don't have to worry about any of that garbage. You just go to the wilderness, enjoy the peace, the quiet, take your own gear. You only have to buy this stuff one time and then you own it for life. And you can go and enjoy and just get away, make food. That camping is when it is fun to do a little chopping, hang out, because what else are you gonna do? You can go hike a little bit, you get around the campfire, you just chill. And you got nothing's pulling at you. You got no habits, no bad habits that are cranking on you. You can just get away from it all and release it. That's why I love camping. So
well, maybe people should always pretend they're camping even when they're at home, and then they'll eat their own food.
Well, that is our life, but it is harder than it sounds for people, and so that's why we make really easy recipes. So
yeah, well, yeah, you're a master. That was amazing. I think my favorite, though, the one that I would like to try the most, is the barbecue sweet potato sheet pan.
We would love for you to try it.
Looks so
I'll send
good.
you anything you want. You just tell me what you want, AJ.
Oh my God, send me the baby.
You'll get sick of him.
Does he wear Will You Roll swag? Do you have like your t-shirts in baby sizes now?
Maybe on Friday I'll show the tricks that Rebecca plays, because since Rebecca knows how to make gear, like accessories, apparel is the word, she has done some things that are tricky, and she's played some jokes on me. So maybe on Friday, if I remember, I'll pull up some of those pictures. But I know she is working on a couple of Well Your World onesies that I think are in the mail. So
I was going to say,
we'll
maybe
show
like
those off.
How about a whole Luca line?
A Luca line.
We'll
put his likeness on our shirts.
Yep. That's so cute. Well, thanks, Dillon. This was so much fun.
And again, the recipes for everything we did here are down below. All the links I talked about are down below in the description box of this video. So please check it out. Email me if you have any questions. It's hello@wellyourworld.com. And thank you, AJ, for having us. We'd love to come back every month if you want.
That would be great. We got a lot of great people to come back once a month. Dr. McDougall, Dr. Lyle, and now Dillon.
All right.
All right. Thanks so much. And guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Please come back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time when my guest is Dr. John Tanner. He had a cardiac arrest when running. He actually died. He was brought back to life and became an oil-free vegan who now has a food delivery service that will not just be in California anymore, but everywhere, if I understand it correctly. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.